Hello everyone, it's Felicity here, and today I'm going to do a tarot deck review on the Greenwich Tarot. So here is the box. It comes with a study box, and then inside you can find the companion book. I think I cannot comment on the quality of the book because I seldom use the book in order to interpret the cards or the spread. And I think that it is good to have the companion book because when the deck comes with a companion book, and it's not only for the beginners, and sometimes for advanced reader it can be very helpful because we would like to see the creator's thoughts or other people's interpretation of the card as well. But I seldom use it. And here's the card, and here is the back of the deck. Just by looking at the back of the deck, and you will know that it is quite a festive deck. This deck sends out the festive energy, and I think that this deck is good for reading the family matter, career, and opportunities, and prosperity. So if you find out the prospect of the future or the prosperity of your career, then you may want to use this deck. And I also feel like this deck is quite traditional deck. Let me show you one card. So here this card is about the man goes out to hunt, and the woman waits for the man to arrive home to bring food to the table to cook. And yeah, I feel that this is quite traditional deck. Another image here, like this lady is riding a side saddle. You can see the leg here, not crossing the leg, is like riding on a horseback, side saddle. So I think this is quite a traditional deck, and it's a good deck to have because it sends out a lot of pick-me-up energy. So if you would like to have a pick-me-up deck, so this deck is worth considering. And also I like the warmth that this deck sends out. You can see the radiant sunshine, and here is another image. I really like this warmth energy because if you are afraid of cold, like if you do not like winter, and then during winter time you bring out this deck, and only by looking at the picture you will feel a sense of warmth, so and sense of hope as well. So this is a pick-me-up deck, and probably because it's a festive deck, and it has a lot of like the theme of celebration, the theme of hope, the theme of celebration coming in. And also for me, this deck has a special meaning because once I read for myself using this deck, and then there's these two cards. I forgot exactly, but I remember this card pop up in the spread, and within 1 month or 2 weeks, I forgot about the duration of the time. Within 1 month or 2 weeks, I got a job opportunity. So to me, this deck is about manifestation, and it's also about bringing in opportunities. So if you meditate, it's better to meditate with this deck. So to me, this deck has this special energy, and therefore I associate this deck with very positive outcome and manifestation as well. Okay, now I'll give you my own interpretation of certain card. Okay. So I think that when you look at the spread of this deck, it's very important to pay attention to some animal details. So it feels like almost every card has animal totem or the symbol of animal. So here you can see the animal here, rabbit and another kind. I don't know how to pronounce this kind of animal. Sorry about that. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of animal. Here is the bird. Here is the peacock. And so now I'll give you some interpretation of the cards. Let me start with this. This one, the law of shadows, actually in a traditional sense, this is the card of death, the death card. So this shadow represents the Pluto energy or the god of death. And here, one generation and the next generation, older generation, is represented by the old man, and the child here is representing the younger generation. Here is the kite. The kite means freedom. And also in Chinese traditional sense, the kite also means freeing the negative energy. So normally in October, in Asian countries in October, normally we fly the kites because it symbolizes freeing the negative energy for the whole year. Okay. And so for this card, I interpret it like this. So here two people are here, and the death of the god of death, it's following them, having has an eye on them. And so to me here, it means opportunity cost, or between two choices, you need to choose one out of the two. And because whether even though something is old, and then we do not want to let go of the old because the old represents something that we are familiar with, and then if we do not let go of the old, and then how can we welcome the new, right? So there's this dilemma of life, and so here it means opportunity cost, because once we choose one option over the other, and then we let go, we sacrifice the choice of others. Okay, I mean the choice of choosing. I mean, once you choose this object, or you choose to have this relationship, or you choose to buy this item, or you choose this job opportunity, you are letting go or sacrificing the option that the other object can afford, right? So here is the opportunity cost. Once we choose something, and then we let go of something else, or we sacrifice ourselves for having something else, because there's this limitation of time, limitation of resources, or the limitation of our physical well-being. Like there's no yes, that is the reality of life. Like we have limitation, we cannot have it all. Life is like that. Even though you are super rich, or you have a lot of ability, then even though you are like that, you cannot choose everything. So this represents choices that we need to make a decision on, and it's also about sacrificing something for something else. So it's also about choices, whether you take back the old job, or you take back the old relationship, or you want to let go of the old and welcome the new. So this this card is very Asian, because it seems that the well, it can mean the knowledge, it can mean something like oftentimes the well sometimes brings out this kind of spooky feeling, because oftentimes in some folk stories or in some ghost stories in Asian culture, the well oftentimes it's hidden, often maybe it's hidden with some kind of secret story, some kind of hidden story about the past, and there you can find the spirits inside the well. And so a lot of things come up for this card. Okay, next one. Here it is the Six of Pentacles. Is about charitable work, is about give and take, is about balance as well. And for me, this, like, here is the dice. Here is about gamble, is about taking a risk. Probably sometimes when people is asking you for help, they are taking a risk, because they take the risk of accepting the no from you, right? And so taking a risk, and it's like, okay, gambling as well. And it's also about trust. The one who is offering you something is about trust as well. They trust you that your story is real and you're not lying to them. Therefore, they are willing to help you. So there's a balance of trust and give and take. Also about taking a risk of being rejected as well. And when two people are asking you for help, and which one would you like to help first, or whether you just choose one person to help, or you choose to help two, and how many people can you help? So it's also about not just giving, and instead sometimes to teach people how to help themselves is also very important. All right. Okay, next card. So this is the Haunted Card. The Devil, maybe, okay. If I'm not wrong, and I feel that this is maybe the Devil card. So you can see in this card, you can see a lot of animals. And whenever you see a lot of things inside an image, and then you need to rely a lot on your intuition. And for example, when I read a spread, using one of these cards fall into a spread, and then suddenly my attention, the energy draws me into looking at the crow of this deck, of this card. So why, you may ask, why you cannot see these four animals here, instead you see this? It's because every time you use a deck, and every time a certain card fall into a spread, and it will calls out to you, certain object inside a card calls out to you. For example, and at that time, the crow here, the crow on the shoulder, this bird on the man's shoulder, and also a group of birds circulating on top of the head, calls out for my attention. And so I feel like this is the warning, and someone is calling you out, is trying to call you for your attention. Maybe there's a warning of something, all right? And the next card, so this is Seven of Swords. And so this card, normally Seven of Swords signifies something dishonest. Someone is being dishonest, or some kind of shady things happening. But for me, this card means like sometimes when we face the reality outside, and when we have some kind of negative experience outside of our safety home, of our home environment, and we can choose not to tell our family members. And it's about not sharing about what we have faced outside of our home. So for example, this man probably during the hunt outside of the home, during the hunt, He has to face a lot of dangers. He has to face competition. He has to face some kind of unfair competition, or he has to face the reality of things. And in order to get the rabbit, in order to get the harvest of our hard work. But then this man can choose not to tell his family member or his wife about the reality of the world, because sometimes we do not want to burden our family members, or sometimes we will worry about the judgment of our family members. So we choose not to talk about the emotional hurt or the emotional wounds that we have faced in reality. So in another sense, you may say that this is dishonest, right? This is dishonesty. Maybe yes. But then this card asks you to find out, to have an understanding about why people are not telling you everything. Sometimes maybe when they do not tell you everything, they just want to solve the problems for themselves. And all you need to do is to stand by themselves, and that's enough. And when they are willing to say something to you, they will say to you. And if you force someone to say something that they do not want to reveal to you, then it may not be the best option for the both of you. Okay, so this is how I interpret this card. Okay, next one, Five of Swords. For me, I have a different understanding of this card. And here you can see by the clothes that they are wearing. This one, I think this is the merchant, and this one is the peasant, someone from the village, or the worker for the merchant. And so here is the peacock. And you can see that this merchant is wearing one of the feathers from the peacock. What I understand, how I understand this is that this merchant is caring about what? Only cares about the profit of the peacock, the profit of the labor of the workers, the profit from the labor of the workers. He's not caring about the whole being. You know, the peacock here, actually, the whole peacock, the whole bird looks very beautiful, right? But no, this merchant only needs one feather, or only needs the feather from the peacock, but not the bird itself. And so once the bird cannot produce the profit, this bird will be sacrificed, or this bird will be forgotten. So this is how I see this card. It means that it's a warning to the merchant, to the people who are doing business, not to just focus on what people can bring to you, what profit these workers can bring to you. You need to also focus on or pay attention to the whole being of the workers. Alright? So it's about dealing in fairness. And it's also about humane, to be humane, to create a better environment for the workers, as well as to create to bring something in order for them to have a whole person development. Because instead of hiring the new people and sacrificing the old, and you can preserve the longevity of the workers, the longevity of the lives of the workers, by creating a whole person development for them. Alright, so this is how I interpret this card. And especially when the workers produce something for you, and they are giving you the time and energy and their ideas for you, and you need to create a good environment, or you need to care about their whole being, emotional, physical whole being for them, so that they can bring in a lot of ideas. They can produce very quality items for you. So, and therefore, yeah, this is how I interpret this card. And so you can see that actually this deck is quite a deep deck, even though it's a pick-me-up deck. Okay, so another thing I would like to tell you, okay, and the other day I think that I used this deck to create the pick a card reading, and these 3 cards comes up, and I suddenly saw something. Here you can see in this spread, you can see, especially here is the fish here, and on the left hand side, the bird's mouth has a fish as well. So in this spread, 2 cards carries the same object, fish here and another fish here. And this means what? This means that the fish from here, the moon card, this is the moon card. Moon card jumps over here, the 3 of Pentacles. That means that to catch the emotion of others, maybe the manipulation of the emotion of others to me, because the bird is catching the fish, catching the emotion in order to manipulate others. So this is how I interpret this card. And here 3 of Pentacles is about studies or learning, is also about cooperation. So here it may not be a good, a good interpretation. So here maybe someone is telling something, is teaching someone to catch the emotion of someone in order to manipulate someone. Or here 3 of Pentacles. So here this person is giving the reward to this young person, the young boy, and it can mean that maybe by giving you something, it looks like a reward, but do you think that it is actually a reward? Maybe it is not a reward. Maybe it's a catching of the emotion of you in order to control you by just giving you something very positive at the beginning. But at the later stage, you may find out that actually this person, by giving you something, is trying to catch your emotion, is trying to manipulate your emotion just by giving you something good at the beginning. So this is how I interpret things. And also here you can see the 2 frogs here. Okay, 2 frogs is about transformation. Maybe by learning about people's manipulation technique, and you will transform yourself and you let go to build a safe home, the safety for yourself, and know that you do not need other people's approval, or you do not need the rewards of others, or you do not need the recognition of others in order to feel good. Feel good comes from within. The home, the home means within. The home environment is where you nurture yourself, is where you grow your own self. Okay, the home means growing up as well. So it's about turning within. So here the frog means at the end you transform yourself. Okay, so this is how I interpret this card. Hopefully you learn how to interpret the cards by seeing this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.